Okay, so now we're gonna do some layer management here. We're gonna select the two surfaces that we have. Press 1, control the other one so we can add to this list. This is pretty much as if it was Windows Explorer type of management. And you can say Control G as in great and group them together. Double click and call them surfaces inter. So now we can get access to those very easily. The loft lines, we're going to keep some of them, but I want to just hide these three and maintain the one in the middle. So I'm going to say Control H for these three, and so I'm going to work with this one in the middle for now. Close that. Now what we're going to do is like rebuild this surface. And to do that, we select the surface, we go to Edit Nerves, and say Rebuild Surface Options. We're going to say 2 and 10 something, for example, and make sure this is in uniform 0 to 1, and also that it's 3 cubic. So the curves are actually with a degree 3, we just do that, and these curves come out. Now what we can do is, while we select the surface and we go to Edit Curves, Duplicate Surface, those curves of that surface duplicates, and remembering from what surface they're coming from. For now, we're gonna select all those surfaces, Control G, to make a group of all the surface. We can go to Surface and Control H to hide it. Let's go also to the working lines and Control H to hide them as well, so we only have these guys. Also, we're gonna like just delete most of these lines because we don't want to work with them. Remember, this is the loft line that we really need to work with. And then the other ones, I don't know. Let's just, for example, just maintain 3 of them. Okay. So now we have to create the rest of the lines that make the structure in the center. As you can see in the image here, there's a bunch of things. We're not going to do it precise, but for you guys to have an idea of what are the potentials, we're going to go to the front view. You can do the space bar. I cannot do it with my computer. It sucks. We can create a line by create CV curve, but the options, so we make sure that they're not in 3 cubic, which is probably what you have. We have to make sure that it's linear, so we actually do a polyline, not a curve. We can close this and start snapping to the grid by pressing the X here and here, and now we don't press X, or yes, we can press X and take it here, and we can take it over here as well. We can right click and control vertex. I think this one should go down 1 unit. X and W for move first, X, and we take it down. There we go. Now remember, we're drawing in the front view, so here in the right we're actually drawing away from that curve that we're gonna put it together afterwards. So some of the lines that we're going to do, we're not going to snap to this curve at all. We're going to maintain them flat. So I'm going to create another curve, which is going to remember that it's a polyline, and by pressing Z, I'm snapping to the curves, and also remembers like this corner thing. So we can start there and finish here and press Enter. And we can also say G as in repeat the command, which is the curve, C to start here, and I don't know, I'm going to press X to snap to the grid here, and without pressing any snapping, and Shift, it will do an horizontal line here. It's pretty similar to AutoCAD and many other programs. I'm going to create another one by pressing G, C to snap to the curve up here, and then another one here. Another one is Enter to finish that one, G to repeat, C while I maintain to snap to the curve. Oh, what happened there? Cancel. Oh, it's good. I snap it to that point and create another point here, snap it to the grid probably. Good. I think if you didn't snap to the grid in the middle ones, you can always get close to them and make sure that they're actually symmetrical by selecting the vertex. Imagine they were here, pressing X and move them right to that point. But it's fine. Let's go to the perspective mode. As you can see, they're all like over here away from the curve, so we have to select them and move them by snapping to the grid X, and there we go. I have moved, and I knew that this one, because it's one of the lofts, were actually aligned with the grid, so it's fine. Another thing we can do now, if you want, is actually snap these ones to the curve, but I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Of course, we can be as precise as we want now. Oh, I think there's another line here in the middle. We can create the CB curve, snap to the curve, and snap to the curve here. Enter. Okay, we have all these things. Quite cool. So what we need to do now is just draw a couple profiles, which is the sections of this. I'm gonna draw 2 examples. I'm gonna go to the front, to the top view, and just draw like very quick a couple of samples, and by creating CB curves. I'm gonna do this. Sorry, snap to the grid by X. So don't worry that they look quite ridiculous in the beginning, because then we can deform them very easily. Here. Oh, the last one I wouldn't draw. I would just press enter before finishing, because we can select the curve, go to edit curves and open close, so we make sure that it's closed. Another thing we can do is this could be select the line, right click, control vertex, select this one for example, and make them bigger in this direction. Select all these ones, make them bigger. Okay. Right click, go to mode. We can select this one, control D to duplicate. W, it's for some reason it's here the gizmo, so we can go to modify center pivot, and it goes directly to our piece. And now we can take it out and right click, control vertex, and I don't know, do something different with this option. So it's, for example, the smaller piece and the big one are, and we make it smaller. So we have 2 profiles. We can go to the outliner again and select one. They're obviously too big, but we're going to be able to change it afterwards. For that curve, we're going to call it, double click and say profile big, or yeah, big main. Sounds more professional. And the other one we select and double click and say profile small. And for the other curves, remember, we can always select them all and say Ctrl G, group, and say structure lines V as in vertical, for example. Okay, let's do this.